I want to walk back, and I know some of my colleagues might not like it that I spend so much time speaking. Let me preface this by saying I'm supporting tonight's agreement. But I do want to do a little bit of a walk back in time because I've been here, as have several of my colleagues, not all, but several. So in 2016, these units were allowed. We gave the vested rights. That's why I asked for the timeline, to go back through the timeline. Back then, I voted in opposition. We gave the vested rights for 485 units back in 2016. A judge has basically just said that multiple times. In 2016, we also did the transfer of the residential units in an effort to protect the green space that was there. We allowed at that time as well the 2 additional floors. So I know several people have said, well, how could you be allowing with this settlement the 10 stories? It was already vested. These were decisions that were made by 3 colleagues on the council in 2016. And I'm saying that not to place blame. I put out an informational video that you've got 2 minutes to get as many facts, so I didn't go through a timeline dating back to 2008, but at every vote that has come before this council or previous councils, I have voted in opposition. Why? Because I don't think development on Old Cutler Road is something that I want to see, and I know that it was something that many, many residents came out and spoke in opposition to through the years. I voted, as I said previously, in opposition to the application because, quite frankly, I didn't think the application was fitting for the village of Palmetto Bay, at least from my opinion, and actually from 4 other colleagues at the time, including everybody up here and the former Vice Mayor, Leanne Tellem. I didn't like the application. I thought we were going to have a pretty good case. Obviously, I was wrong, and it's unfortunate. I was saying the other day on a community newspapers show that I really have no shame in the money that has been spent in litigation, because I believed all along, at least from my perspective, I know it's easy to sit and listen and everyone has their opinions, and I appreciate all the opinions that everybody that spoke tonight, whether you're in support or whether you're in opposition. But I've always maintained that when you litigate because you believe you have the opportunity to protect the quality of life for the residents. Plain and simple. We have other litigation going on now at this time. My comments would be exactly the same if we were right here talking about other litigation. To me, it's about the quality of life. So here we are, as the Vice Mayor said, how do you take something that I know people are going to be upset? I know that tomorrow I will get calls, tomorrow I will get emails from individuals that aren't happy that we accepted a legal settlement. I, like at least one of my colleagues, maybe 2, I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, think that what I saw in my meeting with you and what was presented on June 2nd is a much nicer version of similar number of units, right? Actually, it's a few less, but similar to what we were looking at in 2017 in terms of units. But what I saw in what was presented to me it has a look and feel that feels more like Palmetto Bay. Will there be traffic issues? Yes. Will there be more traffic issues without this development? Yes. All you need to do is drive up and down US 1, get on the turnpike, and look at the green lighted development to the south of us and to the west of us. We have almost 5,000 units, 4,500 units, I believe it is, going in the Southland Mall area. Will that create more traffic? Of course it's going to create more traffic. Does that make me happy? Absolutely not. Do I want to keep heightened density down in our city? Yes. But at the end of the day, what I chose to focus on for this evening, for this legal settlement, was the acquisition of the 22 acres. I think pretty much everybody, and 5 council members, even though I don't think we just heard it's not going to pass by 5 council members, but at the very least, I know we've done the best that we can to plug into place some protections for the 22 acres. That to me is extremely important. I can't change the past, and I would vote exactly the same way I did in 2016, given the opportunity to do it all over again. I did also want to correct the record because I know we've talked a little bit about misinformation or disinformation, but there was an email that went out. I saw the individual was here a little bit ago from Palmetto Bay Neighbors Alliance. I think that's the name of the publication that was put out. And I did want to just quote a couple of things from that email because I believe many of you received the same email. I know I had to have it forwarded to me, but I read it and I was like, there's a lot of inaccuracies here. It says, the video I just mentioned, if you haven't seen the video, I did do a 2-minute and 38-second video just focused on a very quick timeline and that we had met, I'd met with the developer, and we had talked about the 22 acres. But it says, this email said, the video conveniently omits the 133,000 square feet of new commercial development that will turn Old Cutler Road into a downtown district. No other prior deal had this. I met with the manager and village attorney. The applicant has always had a right to the commercial development, and I would ask, is that correct?
That's totally correct.
So this commercial piece, that's always been there. The village mixed-use zoning district that regulates the site allows for up to a maximum FAR of 0.5, and this infers a potential for approximately 699,723 square feet of development, of commercial development in the site plan. That's not what's in this agreement. It's much less than what was allowed. The email went on to say, again, it was specifically connected with me, so I want to just put to the record, because it's my name, and my name means something to me. It said she doesn't explain why she met secretly with developers and excluded you and your voice from the single most important development in Palmetto Bay. You weren't at the table, and now you and our community are definitely on the menu. I don't believe that my meeting was in a dark closet somewhere. We actually deferred from June 2nd at the request and the support of the request of Councilmember Fiore, and I give you a great shout out for that. I really appreciate it, because otherwise I wouldn't have G in front of me right now, so I do appreciate that. It is our obligation, in my opinion, whether people vote for it or not, but it's our obligation to meet, to try to negotiate, especially in this particular case, because it's been an ongoing legal battle, not so long, I don't know, 3 years, feels like a drop in the bucket compared to the number of years in the past, but I felt it my obligation. I can't just walk away from the obligation and say, hey, let the chips fall where they may. You know what, I'm gonna dig my heels in. I did have very strong opinions in the past. I still have very strong opinions, but I don't know if I can take the adjective pragmatic from my colleague next to me, but I'm also a realist, I guess, and I really want to do what's best for our environment, for the neighbors that are to the west by having that buffer there, and also creating more park space here in the village. What concerned me also was that I heard, and in this email, talks about the $15,000. Can the property owner move forward I said 15 million, I'm sorry, I said 1,000. Can the property owner move forward with a Burt J. Harris should we not accept the settlement?
Certainly.
Okay. Could it be up to $15 million?
It would be, it would be needed to be proven based on appraisals and other matters, but the answer is potentially yes.
So that's a fact, though.
That's a fact.
Okay. So I'm putting it all to the record because, again, as I even said in the video that I put out, there's a lot of politicizing of issues, and from big to small. I'm so glad you all are here this evening, but we have some really tiny things that actually get huge media coverage and politicized, and there's really no need for it. It's okay that tonight we're going to disagree, right? You're not going to see five council members vote in support of the legal settlement, but that's the way democracy works. I've had the opportunity, and I also want to thank Mr. Grossenbacher. I know I wasn't able to negotiate what we talked about, but I think given the circumstances, we've done the very best, or at least I feel I've done the very best that I can do with this evening. I would also say that 2026 is just around the corner. You have 3 council members that have, I think Councilmember Fiore says it's 15 meetings, but somehow I feel like it's way more meetings than that. But you have 3 council members, those of you that live here in the village of Palmetto Bay, and I think, by the way, let me just say a thank you. I know I heard some of the locations people came from. Thank you. Long drive. I hope you have a lunch and a dinner bag for your ride home and a cafecito, but I appreciate you taking the time to take the drive down to pretty Palmetto Bay. We appreciate it. But 2026, for those of you that live here, is really just around the corner. And so I think there you're going to also have to think about this when we get there. Now, it'll be, definitely the timeline is beyond my being here, sitting here. So I'm sharing that because, just as a reminder, that these are questions you'll want to ask yourself and you'll want to ask candidates moving forward in 2026. When people are knocking on your door, you've got to get a very clear snapshot of where they're going to be on these 22 acres as it relates to the care and maintenance of them. To Director Gill, I want to thank you again. I don't know how far you came, but appreciate you being here, and I know you had a colleague here a little bit earlier. I also think, and you may agree or disagree with this, but I also think, well, I would have preferred, I had originally requested 1 year, I said if we could do it 1 year out, mainly because I thought I'll still be here and I'll be able to sleep for the remaining years of my life, knowing that I can check this off check this box. That didn't happen, but it's okay. It's okay. I understood the reasoning. I do. Trust is a really hard thing to build, and hopefully going forward we'll be able to continue to build trust. I lost my train of thought in that little, sorry about that. So the answer is yes. I'm going to support this agreement. I know what it was. I do think that I wish it wasn't 2 years or more. I do think, and I would say to the manager and the village attorney, that it does give you all an opportunity to meet with EEL and also to take a deeper look into what potentially the cost for maintenance to the city would be and create a plan. And I know we can do it because when I first was years ago when I was on council as a councilwoman, and then subsequently when I first became mayor, we didn't have plans for certain things, right? We had like a zero maintenance plan for cleaning drains. And I just say that because we went from, okay, well, we can just have people call us and tell us there's problems and we'll run out and clean them. But I know under your leadership, we've been able to create a plan for that. I have no doubt that within the next 15 months, you'll be able to articulate what the plan will be for us once the property is received. And I may ask for that at some point, but down the road. I think it gives you a lot of runway to be able to do that. And Director Gill is here, and so maybe some outreach, we could all gather together to kind of figure that out. So I'm sorry to belabor the point, but I had a lot built up inside, so I wanted to make sure that I shared it. A special shout out, Ed, thank you for coming out. Craig, thank you for coming out. Chris, thank you. Thank you for our conversation as well. Appreciate it. Beth, I think I mentioned to you, I came across a video while I was bringing up, doing keywords for my own video. I'm like, who is that? Oh, that's Beth Kibler. So thank you for your many years of advocacy. I know that this isn't feeling like everything you wanted, but I think we're going to move it into a really good place, and perhaps we'll be able to have some future conversations to make sure after 3 of the council members are gone that the residents, the activists in the community will be able to continue their activism to make sure good things happen with this 22-acre park space. So I thank you. With that, Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
Councilmember Patrick Fiore.
Yes.
Councilmember Steve Cody.
Yes.
Councilmember Marsha Madsen.
No.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer.
No.
Mayor Karen Cunningham.
Yes. The item passes 3-2. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I was under the impression, I do have to say, I thought we had other